Wait, one second, make sure I am starting. Alright. There we go. Sorry, I had to bend over and grab a wire there to plug into secondary device so that I can see yous. Not actually, but you know, see your messages. Alright. But hopefully you're all doing okay today. It's nice open. Hello and welcome back to Tinker Bay. I guess this would just be a Fireplace Talks and Stories episode. I guess so. Let me check the audio on secondary device. I'll upgrade regular mic a few decibels up. Whoa. There. That should be good. Alright. We put the headset on. Alright. But hopefully you're all doing okay today and stay safe and hello and welcome back. So hopefully you're doing alright and, you know, staying hydrated and all. You have to remember to do that. There we go, sorry, I was just checking something there. To bring the secondary device a little bit closer so I can read chat. Alright. So, in today's episode, you know, well, I was not too sure on what I was going to talk about today, I tell you. So, you know what, we might as well do some writing, I tell you. The Oki Adventure Stories. 1. There we go. That's what we'll call it. That's what we'll call it. Alright. So, hopefully you've been doing alright and staying safe. I will say that once more. Alright. So, let me move that wire out of the way. How do we open up this, you know, beginning? Well, we should talk about what we want for an adventure story. Let me go check something first. Sorry, getting rid of that fly there. Alright. You know what we'll call this one? I got a good title for this story. We'll call it The Wandering Stump. Roots of Destiny. I don't know what the Roots of Destiny is, but I thought it's catchy, might as well go with it. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, A Rainy Day. That's what we'll call this. There we go, I raised secondary base. It's light level so I can actually read chat. Alright, how are we starting this off? Hmm. A rainy day. Why is it raining? Hmm. Well, we'll start it like any other story. Once upon a time, there was a stump named Okay, and a spirit. I cannot remember how you spell spirit. Inside, named Tinkle. Okay, Tinkleberry. One rainy day in spring, the stump nestled deep in the woods was in the warm, nice, overgrown cottage when came a knocking at the door. It was Nutty. It was Nutty, and they, Nutty, the acorn, and they were carrying what seems to be a root of sorts. Nutty explains that they found it and sought, as it's a rainy day, that we might make a nice soup or stew with it. Alright, that seems like a lovely idea. Okay, replied. So, they chopped up the freshest veggies. Chop chop, chop chop. There we go, chop chop chop, chop 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 noises. Once they'd all been chopped up, and the water of the pot had simmered, they added all these lovely veggies and even a nice bit of meat that was snatched up during a fish auction by the old wise turtle Jammy Jams. a great fellow. Oh, hello there, infamous black coat. I was about to say black cat, but you know. We're currently doing some writing now, I tell you. I'm decided, you know what, we're gonna be doing some writing for our VTuber story. Lore story. And I thought, you know what, I might as well make an adventure one. I've already done the original. I'll probably make a remaster of that, or try and track down where I placed it. But this, we may as well hear it so far. We'll put it into like the text reader. So wait 1 second. Translate. Alright, let's hear this.
The Wandering Stump, Roots of Destiny, Chapter 1. A rainy day once upon a time there was Stump named Oki and a sprit inside named Tenko aka Tenko Berry. Once rainy day in spring this stump nestled deep in the woods was in their warm nice overgrown cottage when came a knocking at the door. It was Nutty the acorn and they were carrying what seems to be a root of sorts. Nutty explains that they found it and thought as it's a rainy day that we might make a nice soup or stew with. Alright, that seems like a lovely idea, Oki replied, so they chopped up the freshest veggies. Chop chop. Chop chop noises. Once they'd all been chopped up and the water of the pot had simmered, they added all these lovely veggies and even a nice bit of meat that was snatched up during a fish auction by the old wise turtle. Jammy Jam's a great fellow.
That was actually pretty good. I hope your writing is going well. Yay, it actually is going quite well so far. We're currently on chapter 1, and you know, it seems to go, you know, so far. I need to try and figure out where that one point was. Nutty explains that they found it and thought it as it's a rainy day. I had a bit there before that, so it stops and then restarts. No, actually, I should go like that. With it. There we go. We place a little bit between that. Is it apostrophe? I think it's apostrophe. I can't remember. With that. With it. Or a stew with it. There we go. Alright, that seems like a lovely idea. Okay, replied. So they chopped up the freshest vegetables. Chop chop. Chop 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 noises. Once they'd all been chopped up and the water of the pot had simmered, they added all these lovely veggies and even a nice bit of meat that was snatched up during a fish auction by the old wise turtle. Jammy Jams, a great fellow. I think that sounds good so far. Could be known to be one of the oldest elders of the forest. Would be nice, as they provided the meat too. I should get back to writing soon after I have uploaded my VOD. Yay! I understand that. Like, I've been trying to get back into writing for some time, and you know, I thought, you know what, I might as well do a lore video, because that means I get to write some more. I'm hoping to do some more normal writing, like, you know, I want to use a typewriter, but I don't have a small enough typewriter yet. But I hope to get a small enough typewriter that, who knows, you know, maybe during the stream, you know, I could, you know, do some work with yous all. That would be a fun idea. But you know, on stream, you know, I've been wanting to do this idea for quite some time. A writing stream. It's been quite some time. As they provided the meat to give a nice meal back to them. There we go. So, once everything had been added to the pot. It started bubbling. A weird and ominous. How do I write ominous again? That's how you spell ominous. Ominous again. Weird and ominous green color like no other. Like no other green. And as it showed this green color, the root shot up out of the pot. Luckily, no one was very near to it with all that hot water. But the root floats in midair. There we go, midair. Oh, my right bit of my eye has decided to act up. I need to go wash my face soon. Let's see. It floats in midair as it pulses. This pulses the weird green color as writing starts to appear on it. Okay, yells. Where did you get that, Nutty? Nutty responds, I found it on the ground. I just thought it was a food root that is common around here. And then, all of a sudden, it stops and falls on the already set table with a loud, thunderous crash of plates and other essentials being smashed or damaged during its descent onto the table. Alright, let's hear how that sounds so far. Alright, there we go. And let's just make it, you know.
Chapter 1. A rainy day once upon a time there was a stump named Oki, and a sprit inside named Tenko aka Tenko Berry.
I can never
Once
spell
rainy day
berry.
in spring this stump nestled deep in the woods was in their warm nice overgrown cottage when came a knocking at the door. It was Nutty the acorn and they were carrying what seems to be a root of sorts. Nutty explains that they found it and thought, as it's a rainy day that we might make a nice soup or a stew with it. Alright, that seems like a lovely idea, Oki replied, so they chopped up the freshest veggies. Chop chop. Chop chop noises. Once they'd all been chopped up and the water of the pot had simmered, they added all these lovely veggies and even a nice bit of meat that was snatched up during a fish auction by the old wise turtle. Jammy Jams, a great fellow who'd know to be one of the oldest elders of the forest, would be nice as they provided the meat to give a nice meal back to them. So once everything had been added to the pot, it started bubbling a weird and ominous green color like no other green. And as it showed this green color, the root shot up out of the pot. Luckily, no one was very near to it with all that hot water, but the root floats in midair as it pulses. The weird green color as writing starts to appear on it. Oki yells, "Where did you get that, Nutty?"
Kinda reminds me of
Nutty
Lord of the
responds,
Rings.
"I found it on the ground. I just thought it was a food root that is common around here," and then all of the sudden, it stops and falls on the already set table with a loud thunderous crash of plates and other essentials being smashed or damaged during its descent onto the table.
Decent? Descent. Maybe I did not spell that right, let me check. Ah, there it is. I missed a S. That's what I missed. Alright, that's a good chapter 1 there so far. Chapter 2. How do we continue it from... So, after the root had cooled down... Actually, we need to come up with a title for chapter 2. A chapter for chapter 2. The green text. That's what I'll call it, the green text. That's not too bad. So after the root had cooled down and destroyed most of all our tableware and almost the table itself, we decided to wrap it in blankets, in a blanket, in a blanket, and transport it to the only person we knew who'd have some idea on it. Decided to wrap it up and transport it to the only person we knew who'd have some idea on it and what it was as it and what it was and what it was as it seems to be in how did I write imbued again? Imbued with the power of magic, but more of a nature magic like no other that has been seen in this forest, even dwarven our woodland dwarf What do we call the woodland dwarf? They gotta be magical, so our woodland dwarf. Let's see. Our woodland dwarf, Derek. Nah. Dwig? 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 Nah. Dwig. Dwigland. Dwigland. It's like Twigland. Or Twigland. For an area that had a lot of twigs. I think that's not a bad name. Dwarf. Dwigland. The healer of the village. So, we decided that we'll bring it to Dwig and get the elder Jammy Jams. What is his name again? To make sure I have the right name. Alright, I'm just separating everything out to make sure it, you know, seems alright. Let's see. Elder Jammy Jams, the turtle. Dwig had quarantined. Had in the back, away from others, until Jammy Jams gets here to see what all the fuss is about. So, when they do arrive, Dwig takes them to the back. With okay. And Nutty. And after just a second, Jammy Jams is already picked it up. As they can feel the power that is inside said root. The text has faded, but they slow boil it. Do not heat it up too much. Do not heat it up too much that it will break apart. So, after using some prongs, they take it out of the hot water, and there, as light of day coming from above the trees, is the ancient text. This ancient text known as not Tagami, Tagami-nism. A Notana Tagaminism, known as Notana Tagaminism. Only very few can read it, as the text is so old that it was not learned normally like other languages, but passed down through spell, known as No, Nah, Nona, Mechanism, Nona, Mechanism. Yeah, Nona Mechanism. And the last person who knows that spell is Jammy Jams, the turtle. So, they task okay and Naughty with going on a adventure beyond the forest to find the homeland of this route, as it says in the instruction slash map of sorts. Instruction slash maps of sorts, that this route is a sword that was once wielded by the great mechanism forest, by the great mechanism forest queen. Lantora. So, Jammy Jams uses a spell to teach. The sword slash key that was once wielded by the great mechanism Forest Queen Latora. So Jammy Jams uses the spell to teach. Okay, and Nutty the ability to read, not antagonism, not antagonism. And so, our adventures ready up, but with a unexpected tag along being Dwig, who thought that we'd need a healer for this adventure. So, once we packed all the food and other provisions we need, we now head out to now start the adventure that seems to have been brought to us by fate itself. Second. Alright, let me actually end off the music here. We had 22 minutes left of it. Alright, now it's time for the final bit of this, episode. It also has a limit, so I have to take some of it away. So I'll take all of chapter 2. You know what, I'll just take off all of chapter 2. Oops, googled. I guess I'm not gonna get able to be read out. Well, you know what, that's where we're gonna be ending off for today. So, hopefully you enjoyed this. When I stay safe, possible, because social speakers of items are very important. And when we see things, somebody sees, bye.